Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the Course Creator Community Podcast. I'm super excited because we've got a very special guest this week, all the way from Canada, somewhere over there in the west coast of Canada. I've never been, so I don't know it too well, but she's somewhere around there. A little bit about this person. She helps female entrepreneurs with course creation and leveling up their business. She's known as the Chillionaire. So she'll show you how to do things in a chilled way. And one of her specialties is around Trello. Now, I've been fiddling around with Trello for years and I still don't know how to use it properly. So I'm super excited to hear this. So without further ado, let me introduce the one and only Ms. Brandy Dudas. Brandy, how are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
Yes, I'm awesome.
Wonderful.
Just before we get into it, Brandy, I've obviously connected with you on social. I've been following you for a little while now. But if someone hasn't heard of you before, let us know in a nutshell, what is it you actually do there?
Yeah, I am actually a college instructor. So I come at course creation from not only you need to sell your course, but you also need to make a really good product for your students so that they're successful and they become your best ambassadors going forward as well. Because really, we want student success. And so I deal with everything from outlining, creating your course to all the mindset issues that come up while we're creating a course, like, do I feel like a fraud? Do I feel like an imposter? Am I the one to be teaching this? All of that kind of stuff, which can really hurt us when we go to sell our course.
Yes, agree. Okay. Now, one of your expertise is Trello, Brandy. Let us know and feel free to share your screen whenever you want.
For sure.
Why should... Oh, yeah, sorry.
So go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask, why should we use Trello? Where do we... Why would if someone's like, well, I've created a course before, I don't need Trello. What do we need Trello for? What are the advantages? How does it help us?
So for sure. And I am not a Trello expert. I use Trello for course creation, and that's pretty much the only thing I use it for. I know people that use it to run all facets of their life, but that is not me, quite honestly. I just use it for course creation. And the thing that there's actually a couple things that I really love about this. So a lot of people create their outlines for their courses with sticky notes on their walls. They start out with like their student starting point and their ending point, and they outline their modules with the sticky notes on their walls. And it's so nice because you can move everything around. It's great. The problem is, for a lot of us who have kids, they come and they rip off the sticky notes off the wall. So this is why I actually came over to an online service. So Trello is basically like sticky notes online on steroids. That's what I like to call it. So it solved that problem for me, number one. Number two, I like to work in different places. So I didn't want to have everything just at my house. And I only live in a 2-bedroom apartment. It's not that big. So it was with me wherever I went when I'm working. The other thing is it makes your course outline look so good, and you're going to be able to use this outline not only as a project management tool to get your course created, but you'll also be able to screenshot it and use it to pre-sell your course and build interest around the course that you're going to be creating in the future. So if you're the person that's like, I've created a course, but I didn't sell it, this is for you, because you can pre-sell your course, get interest, and then go on and create it after. That's the only way to do it.
Yes, love that. Agree 100%. And I love the mobile side of things because I need to get my computer repaired, actually, my laptop. It's going to take 7 days. And I'm like, I can't live 7 days without my computer, But if I could work anywhere, right, and I could just log on to go to my parents' place, log on. I've got my Trello board there.
Yeah.
Then it does, because I'm still a paper guy at the moment. If you look at my wall, there's all my notes and everything on there. So it's like, well, I can only really work at home. But this is, I like this. Okay.
And they do have an app as well. So if you are out and about and all of a sudden this, you have this amazing idea, you could just pop it into your board as well. And so it's with you, available at all times, so you don't forget, which is really nice.
Yes,
that's the worst. If you think of a genius idea and then you forget about it later.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I try and squeeze it in my notes section in my Apple iPod, and that's a mess, the notes section, I don't even know what's in there.
No, exactly.
Okay. So let's dive into this. So we can see quite a few boards there. Am I right in saying, Brandy, that each board is a different course? Is that how it's set up?
Yes. So each board is set up like a course, and I'm going to take you guys through kind of like a tutorial. So this is going to be kind of just like an explanation / tutorial. So let's create one together, and then you guys can see how I do this if that works for you guys.
Yes.
All
Should
right.
we? Question here, Brandy. Should we grab a volunteer, or is it better if you just sort of lead?
Yeah, no, let's grab a volunteer for sure. Who wants to outline a course?
All right. Comment below. Who's putting a first person to comment gets to be our volunteer. So it's better if someone is currently creating a course, Brandy?
Sure.
Awesome. All right, let's go. Who's up? We need a volunteer, and you'll basically get free training here from Brandy on how to use Trello.
And I'll share the course board with you too, so it'll be done.
Awesome. All right, who's up? I'll pick. If no one volunteers, I'm going to pick someone randomly. So make sure someone volunteers. Otherwise, I'm just going to throw someone in the deep end.
Or we could go through your industry, and I could struggle with creating a fitness course.
Okay. Let's see if we can get someone. Here we go. Robin's up.
Robin?
All right.
Awesome, Robin.
So let me see the best way to do this. All right. Do you want to unmute yourself, Robin?
Hey.
Hi, Robin. So can you tell us what your course is going to be about?
It's about how to grow your email list using a lead magnet funnel.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to call this, I'm just going to put it, I've got a couple different teams, but you guys don't need to worry about that. So I'm just going to call this Robin's lead course. So create board. There we go. All right. And so where is your student starting point? And so what I like to do when I'm outlining courses, do like, what's their starting point? What's their ending point? So where is the student starting, and where are they going to be ending up at the end of your course?
So they're starting with no email list, quite possibly like no following. They may or may not have created a course already.
Okay. So this is our starting point. Awesome. And so these are called lists. And so as you can see, like once we actually go through and put the modules in, we'll be able to put the cards, which will be the lessons below that. We'll just go into that in a minute here. All right. So where is going to be their ending spot once they're done your course?
They will have a full lead magnet funnel built that is creating their email list.
Mm-hmm. Do they have a certain number of email subscribers that they're aiming for at the end of the course?
If they're just starting with the funnel, maybe not. It depends kind of just, honestly, it's that they have the lead magnet and the funnel and that it works.
Okay. Sounds good. So from a course creation standpoint, though, I'm just going to challenge you when you go to create this course, because people don't want the lead magnet funnel. They want subscribers. So just kind of thinking that through, they might want 250 subscribers by the end of your course. So just to like kind of push you there to like think about what your people actually want. They want the subscribers to sell to.
Okay.
Yeah. Question.
So,
can I ask a question there? So
yeah.
with your course, Robin, so you'll teach them the funnel. Do you teach them how to get people in there as well? Or it's just the funnel?
Yeah.
Teach them how to get people in there as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, I could go, hey, this is the technique that I use to get like 500 emails or.
Yeah, I think that would be much more persuasive.
Yeah. Or at least even a minimum, get your first 100,
Yes.
or you know, follow this step and get your first 100 within 4 weeks or whatever it may be,
I'm going to put this in here.
Because once they've got the funnel, Robin, it's just time, right? Yeah. It's just up to them how hard they hard they grind to get it,
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So now, Robin, we've got your starting point, no email list, no following, possibly a course. And then your ending is we've got a lead magnet funnel built, and we're going to put in there that they're going to have 100 subscribers by the end of this. All right. Mm-hmm. So what are the big steps or your modules that they're going to go through to get to from no email list to their funnel built and get 100 subscribers? What are the steps they need to take?
So the first one would be like picking the right topic, one that people are,
You just went on mute.
Yes, I just hit the space button. And so yeah, First one would be pick the right topic. Second one, how to create a lead magnet. Let's see. So the next one would be an opt-in page.
Okay.
Step 4 would be like a thank you page.
Okay.
Step 5 is building like the email nurture sequence. And then I guess step 6 might be like checking to make sure everything works. And then 7 might be, yeah, 7
That's
might
probably
be
the most important topic.
Yes.
yeah. And then 7 would be how to promote it.
Good. Okay. Mod. And so this is funny here because you guys will see I'm not actually putting in the module numbers. And the reason I do that is because we change our minds all the time and we like to reorganize things. And so until I have like my course kind of ready to be finalized, I just leave it like this, like the dashes. And so then eventually I can go back and I can add in module 1, module 2, module 3, but you don't need it at the start if you want to rearrange this, because I'm going to show you can rearrange it right now. I'm going to take the ending step and we're just going to slide it over, and I'm just dragging and dropping it all the way over to the end. So now you guys can see, bring it over here. There we go. So we've got our student starting spot here, no email list, and then they're going to go through these big steps or these big milestones in order to get to their first 100 subscribers and have a lead magnet that's continually, feeding their email list, which is awesome. Okay. So Robin, we'll do a couple of these. We don't need to fill out the entire course, but under picking the right topic, what lessons would you give them? What is important in there that they need to go through?
Let's see. So first of all, is it something they're passionate about? Do they care about it? Does it resonate? That kind of thing.
Okay.
And then, I talk about that they don't have to be like the #1 expert, because that's what a lot of them think they have to
Yes.
be super, yeah. And then I talk about validating their topic. So going to see if it's got market demand.
Awesome. Perfect. And then let's do one more. So how to create a lead magnet. What would you talk about in there?
What a lead magnet is.
Yeah, that's a good starting point. What the heck is a lead magnet?
Some examples. And then how to use Canva to create one. And then a couple things to keep in mind when creating a lead magnet.
Perfect. Things to keep in mind. Okay. And so now do you have any tools that would go in any of these, like a checklist, like a template for them that you would want to put in any of these, in these modules or in any of these lessons?
I guess for the examples, I would have PDFs of the examples.
Okay, sounds good. So I'm going to say here, I'm just going to put one. I like to just kind of separate them out. I'm going to say tool and then example PDF. Example of a lead magnet, or a good lead magnet. Maybe a good and a bad.
See.
All right. So there we go. So we have some lessons. We've got probably some video lessons here, and then you also have a tool to go in your module. Okay. The last thing that I like to do, like when I'm kind of outlining and setting up my list, is I also like to put at the very end over here, you can have a bonus section if you're going to put bonuses for your course, but I also like to put a section that says for later. And the purpose of this section is because as course creators, sometimes we have a cajillion, and I'm an accountant, so that's totally a word. But we have so many ideas that we want to throw at our students. And as course creators, our job is not to brain dump all of our knowledge onto our students. It's really to curate the information and to give them a good experience of going through that information.
The less, the better, right, Brandy? If we can.
Yes. Yes. Like just give them the information that they need to be successful. Totally. I agree with that. And so let's say we were looking at this and we're like, oh, they don't really need, for example, they don't need this, not the expert. They probably do need this. But for example, if we're like, they don't like, we're just looking, we've down, like putting everything that we have in our brains into this outline. And then we kind of take a step back and they're like, we just don't need this topic right now. I would just go, instead of just deleting it, I would go and I would bring it into my for later category. Number one, that makes me feel better that I'm not just deleting my knowledge from here. It can also come up with ideas for another course, right? So if you have all of this information and you keep putting stuff into the for later, that might be a second course that you're creating in that kind of bucket there, or ideas that you can bring out in later, because your first course doesn't need to have everything as well. So just kind of a place to park things that you think is an awesome idea, but maybe you don't have time for it, or you just don't want to overwhelm your students with it. So that's kind of what I do there. All right. So now coming back here, and we go into here. And Robin, are you going to pre-record your course, or are you going to teach your course live?
I am going to pre-record it. I have done live before and it killed me.
Okay, sounds good. I love teaching live. This is like my jam right here. But that sounds great. So if you click into these cards here, as you can see, this is where it's like sticky notes on steroids. You can move them around depending on where you want it in your course. You can move it between like what order you want it within your modules, which is really nice. It's very flexible. But then if you just click on one of these cards here, you can go in and give it more information. So for example, if you're pre-recording a course, we can actually add a checklist in here for you, Robin, and this can all of a sudden, it comes from your course outline to your project management of your course. You don't have to duplicate it into another course management system, which is nice. I like just working smarter, not harder. And so for this, we could say like, this is a video lesson. And so I'm adding a checklist in here, and then I'm going to just say like, what do I need to do for my video lesson? Okay, well, I need to create a script for myself because I want to know what I'm going to say. I need to create my presentation, maybe in Canva, if you're going to use one. Canva presentation. You are going to have to record your video, which is everyone's favorite part. You are going to have to edit your video. Actually, this is really the terrible part, editing videos.
You edit your videos, do you, Brandy?
I do edit my videos. Yes, I'm a YouTuber as well, so I do edit my videos. Yes. So you're going to edit your videos. You are going to have to upload your videos. You might want to extract the audio, so you're giving your students a really good experience.
What does that mean? What does that mean, extract the audio?
So probably what you do for your podcast. So taking out the audio and putting it as a separate file in your course. So do you do that in your courses?
I don't know. And is that just, what would be the advantage of that? Why not
the advantage of that is for people who are listening to this when they're doing their dishes, when they're driving their kids to school, so they can listen to the lessons instead of having to watch it.
So is it a download? Because what I'm thinking is, because why don't they just press play and then go and do the dishes while the video is playing, you know?
You can. I work with a lot of moms and they like having the audio separate.
Okay, fair enough.
You can totally just push play and do it while the video is playing. Yep. But yeah, for whatever reason, people like having the audio option there. Okay. So yeah,
makes sense.
For sure. Yeah. So, and you can do that on the editing program anyway. So it's pretty easy. If you want a transcript, you don't need a transcript, but if you like to have a transcript, you can get it transcribed. Description. So you're just putting in all the steps. And so now all of a sudden this becomes your to-do list of everything I need to do in order to create my course. When you go and create your script, if you are linking it to a Google document or anything, you could put it in the description up here, the link to the Google Doc. If you had your videos on YouTube as unlisted that you're going to pop into your course software, you could put the link here. And so then if you are working with a team, I'm a solopreneur, but if you are working with a team, then your whole team can see where all the links are as well, and everyone's on the same page. So it's just a little bit more detailed. And so as soon as you go through and you're like, okay, I've done my script, I've created my presentation, I've recorded my video, and you just like go through and check it off as you go. All right.
Question there, Brandy.
Yeah.
Can we save that checklist
Yes.
and use it on the other?
Yes. Yes.
Can you do that?
Yeah. So let's show you.
That's
So
awesome.
it's already in there, I believe. I haven't done this in a while, so let's just see how this works. So let's go into our validating our topic, and let's go into checklist and copy items from
Oh,
here.
wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And you can just take your video lesson. So it really
'Cause
works
it's going to be the
nicely.
same. It's going to be the same for every video lesson, right?
Yes. Yes. Exactly. And then just add it. It's already in there.
That's awesome.
Done. Yeah, it's really quick. So that's why I like this. It makes it very efficient to create your project plan for your course. Essentially, you're not having to duplicate work, which is really nice. If you have the updated or like the upgraded, so Trello is freemium. I have the free version, but you can obviously pay for more functionality, and then you can add things like due dates and add members of your team to it as well. You can also add in photos if you wanted to make it a little bit more visual for yourself, and which is really nice. And let's see.
You could do that on the free one, right? The photos and the members. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. So you can add in, like, let's say we'll add in, sorry. Let's just upload one of my photos for now. Robin, I'll take this out for you. So you have a photo of me in there. There we go. It's uploaded in there. And then when we look at this, close this out, there's a photo there as well. So it makes it very visual for you. All right. The other thing that I like to do in here to use it as more of like a project management tool, and it makes it very visual for you as well, is to add labels. And the labels that I generally use, so you could do this in a couple ways. You could use labels, and labels are essentially color coding your sticky notes in Trello. And so you could do it as like, one color is video lessons, one color is tools. But the way I like to do it is, if there's no label on it, I haven't started on it. If there's like a certain color, then it's in progress. And then if there's a certain color, it's done. And I don't have to look at it anymore, basically. So that's my favorite label. So if you click on this and go into labels, just click on that, you can customize these labels. So let's say green is in progress. Save. And then we're going to change yellow, or maybe we'll change it to red. There we go, to done. And if you guys are very branding oriented, you can maybe change it to your brand color so it looks very cohesive with everything. And so it looks nice when you guys are taking photos of this for social media. So for example, let's pretend that this one is in progress. And let's pretend that this one is done. And as you can see, we've just got green here and red here. And so as your board gets filled out, and as you go through and you do like create your course, you can change it all to red, and it's going to become much more easy to manage what you're working on. All right. Do you guys have any questions so far? Just pop them in the chat if you do. This is how I teach my classes, so I'm pretty easy with answering questions as we're going along as well.
Okay. Any questions? Type them below, or you can probably just unmute yourself as well.
Sure.
You're cool if people unmute. All right.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
All right. Any questions? Comment anything down below there, or even just unmute yourself and yell out. Otherwise, you're good to keep going, Brandy.
Sounds good. And so the last thing I would like to show you guys is, if you guys are going to use this, Robin, especially for you, if you're going to use this to pre-sell your course, is I would make the background of this in line with whatever you're selling. So for example, one of my clients has a meal prep course. So we make it like a really nice food background, right? I have a YouTube course, so I try and find like equipment and like cameras and that kind of stuff. But if you just go into the menu here, and you can go into change background, and you can find something that's either like in line with your brand colors, or that just like kind of speaks to whatever you're doing. You can just look for a photo that looks like what you're trying to go for here. So let's try and see if we can find something that goes with a lead magnet. Here we go. Something like that. You might want it less busy. That just depends on you. But then you could take a snapshot of this and post it on your social media and say, hey, look at the course I'm making. It's going to have like, this is what I'm going to be talking about in it. It's going to be so much fun. Let me know if you want to pre-register for it. And I sold my first course this way. This is legit how I pre-sold my course, just by putting snapshots of my Trello board on my social media, and people bought it. So it worked great. Yeah.
Awesome. Love it.
Yeah. So that's about it. That's what I would love to show you guys today, how you can use it to outline and to kind of, use it as a project management. I'm going to just show you guys one of mine filled out so you guys can see how this looks. And then you guys have time to ask me questions if you want to ask about, Trello or pricing or anything along those lines. Please let me know. All right. Let's go into my YouTube course. So this is my YouTube course. My branding is pink, as you guys can see from my background and my board here. But this is what I used to pre-sell my first online course, which was my YouTube course. And so as you can see, just like I had a welcome, and then like one was setting the foundation, setting up your channel, how to do your first ever video, and then setting yourself up for long-term success. And I had all of this colored, and it looked very nice, and it got people really curious about what was going to be in it. And it allowed me to just start conversations about it rather than just being like, oh, surprise, I all of a sudden have a course. Here it is, please buy it. It was much more natural to kind of include people in the conversation about what was going to be in it before I actually went to sell it.
And it looks more professional. It looks professional like that as well. You look
It
at that.
does,
It looks
yeah.
like, okay, this person probably knows what she's doing.
Yes. Instead of like, if you do it in sticky notes, if you just sent out a picture of like your sticky notes on your wall, they'd be like, oh, I don't know about this. What are you selling me?
Yeah. You sure this person's online? They're still using sticky notes?
Which I totally do. I love sticky notes, but this just makes it a little bit more professional and encourages people to actually buy your product, which is, you need students to have a course.
Yes.
So yes.
Agree. All right. Cool. Well, hey, what we might do from there, do you want to stop sharing, Brandy?
Yeah, for sure.
And we might just open it up for Q&A. We might just go around the room. Let me take you off Spotlight. If I remember how to do that. Where are you there? Okay, no, cool. It should be here. So if we go in gallery mode, awesome. All right, cool. Let's just go around and let's just we'll do some sort of Q&A. And Brandy's expertise isn't just in Trello. It's anything to do with the course creation side of things, and also a little bit of the selling as well. So let's just go around and everyone just ask Brandy one question. We'll put her on the hot seat. You're cool if we put you on the hot seat, right, Brandy?
Love it. I love it. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, everyone, let's unmute yourself, and we'll just do hot seat with Brandy. You can ask her any question you want about course creation or about the course selling side of things, even if it's just her number one tip. I'll just go in the order we went at the start. So Trish, you're up first. Any question to Brandy?
I can't actually think of one right now. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. No dramas. If one comes up, let us know. Ken, you're up next there.
Okay, hi. Feel put on the spot. Let's see. I don't have a real question. I'm just absorbing. Trello is great. Actually, I'll just talk about that for a sec. I've used it on and off. Sometimes it's just overwhelming. There's so much in it, so I like that it can help you get organized, but I find sometimes you got to find a balance of not going into too much detail where you're like just following steps and not thinking a little bit, the bigger picture.
Yes, 100% agree. And yeah, like I said, I just use it for course creation. And that's a good tip, is like, you need to be thinking through what you're putting in there every step of the way. And things do change as you're creating, for sure.
Right. It's a great tool though. Once you got it where it's natural, you just go to it and use it.
Yeah, for sure. And with any tool, you have to use it, or else it just kind of sits in the background and doesn't do anything.
Right.
All right, Laura, what's your question for Brandy?
I don't know. I'm looking at my Trello board, and I have mine set up a little bit differently, where I have my project, my course, and then I have things to do, doing, and done, and then some information that I've used that I've already published or whatever, so I kind of know where that is. So that's kind of how I had mine set up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to share, Laura, and see if and just show that side of things as well? Up to you. You don't have to.
How would I do that?
Just go to have you got your Trello board open?
Yes.
down the bottom of your Zoom screen, it should say share screen.
Oh, I've got it open on another computer.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
I
No
use
drama.
2 computers all the time.
That's okay.
Yeah. And I would say, Laura, that's a great way to use Trello. When I'm batching YouTube content, that's the way I use it as well. That's the one other application I use it for, is kind of taking it through the steps of like, okay, this video needs to be scripted, then it needs to be, you know, filmed, and then it needs to be edited and that kind of stuff, and so on and so forth. I haven't done my courses like that just because I like to see my courses in their modules. And so I use the labels instead of putting it through the system on Trello. And so I can, and so you're talking about, you have like the first column of like not done, in progress, done. Is that how you use it? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
And then I have other boards, like I bought some boards on storytelling calendar for social media and things like that. So that's a whole nother board. So
Love it.
Yeah. I use it for my project management. That's how I use it, Laura. The to do, doing, done, Jono to check. But yeah, I think for a course, I like Brandy's for the course. It's almost like a different thing, you know? So if you want to use it to create a course, or to outline your course, use this thing here. If you want to use it to project manage, here's a system here. And I think they're both good. All right, Russ, any questions for Brandy?
Yeah, sure. So for a lead magnet, okay, we know we can put it on a Facebook group. Where else would you recommend putting lead magnets to attract lots of people to your opt-in pages?
So the first thing I would say is that you don't need so many people on your email list to sell your product. And so I have a company, I co-founded a company with a couple other ladies, and it's called the Chillionaire Club. And we had a $20,000 launch with less than 30 people on our email list. And so you don't need like millions of people
We're gonna have to get you on a podcast to get. Is anyone keen to hear that story? How to make $20,000 off your launch? Type yes in the box if you want to hear this. I think we bring Brandy on again. But sorry,
with less than 30 people on your email list, including your husband's. And so you don't need a huge email list for your first launch, but I just think that like anywhere that you are showing up is where you should be dropping your list. So like I said, I'm a YouTuber, so I put my lead magnets in the description of my videos. Even if I'm not talking about my lead magnets in my videos, I still drop them in my description because people still go to my website from my YouTube videos, even when I'm not talking about that particular lead magnet in the video. I put it on my social media. Like I have my Facebook profile public. That is a personal decision that I made. And it is one of like, it's my cover photo is my lead magnet. I also have it on my Instagram. So it's basically everywhere. I just put it everywhere to pick up people. I'm also very active in Facebook groups. I don't have my own personal Facebook group, but I like showing up in other people's Facebook groups. And so when people friend me from Facebook groups, if we've been having a conversation, the first thing they see when they go to my profile is the picture on my Facebook of like, this is my lead magnet, it's giant, and they see it right away. And I know that's a personal decision you have to make if you want to make your profile public or not. I can't make that decision for you, but that's where I have mine.
I'll give a suggestion in a sec, but Robin, this is your specialty as well. What's your tips for Russ?
Definitely. I mean, I grew mine from other people's Facebook groups when I started, and yeah, being active in other people's Facebook groups, that was the biggest one. That was the biggest one. I know people use Instagram and all that stuff, but Facebook was my specialty. So you pick a social media and you just rock that thing.
Yeah, agreed.
I'll share my thoughts, Russ. I think like the key is you need to have a following first, you know? It's like you got to find a way to build your following. Like if you've got no following, like say you put it on LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook, but you've got no following on any of them, no one's going to see it, you know? So it's like, okay, how can I build my following and then get my following to see this here? Both Robin and Brandy suggested Facebook groups. I think that's probably the best and the easiest because most people are active on Facebook and there's already a built-in community there. You know, you can just go to a Facebook group that already has your community and just interact there, you know, go that way there. I'll also add in, we're doing a Facebook, grow your Facebook group challenge starting next week. And it's essentially the same thing. Like the strategies that I'm going to teach to grow your Facebook group, just replace Facebook group with lead magnet. And it will work pretty much exactly the same. So we'll cover a bit of this over the next couple of weeks. And I guess, do you have a Facebook group yourself, Ross?
Yes, I do. Yeah,
Okay.
I've got like 180 people on it right now, and I'm doing this event next weekend, so we've got like 400 people signed up for it right now. So it's gonna jump significantly over the next week.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So yeah, my strategy is basically have a Facebook group, grow that Facebook group. But one of the questions to get in the Facebook group is what's your email address? And then also poke out little freebies in that Facebook group as well. So yeah, keep an eye on the next couple of weeks when we cover the Facebook group stuff and just follow that. And yeah, you'll get some tips there. All right, John, question for Brandy.
Oh, okay. So, nice presentation. I was a little late. I apologize. I don't use Trello.
Nice audio, by the way, John. How crisp was that?
Thanks. Oh, good. Thanks. I podcast, so that's important. So I use Asana. I don't use Trello. Do you have any experience with that? Or they're pretty similar, right?
I think you can do the same thing in Asana.
Okay.
I just I found Trello first, and then other people told me about Asana later. So I believe you can do a similar thing in Asana. So it's whatever tool works for you, use it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I kind of do. Is this a pretty open-ended question I can ask?
Yeah,
or
go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. 15 minutes, go for it.
Okay. I do have kind of a question. It sounds like you're good with launches, and Jono, I know you are as well. So one thing that happened recently, and I'm just trying to figure out how to handle this. I've got an influx of some traffic that is kind of like cheap traffic. I sold some courses through one of these art bundle things, a bundling of courses, right? And so I've got a lot of people coming into my email list, into my world, that don't really know me. And so every time I send out an email, now it's like 20 unsubscribes every time, which isn't bad, but it's like, what is there something that you guys know of that I could do to, just capture them or let them know, I'm trying to figure out how to love up on them without being weird or creepy,
Awesome. Yeah, I've got
that
some
makes sense.
Yeah, you go first, Brandy, and then I'll chime in.
Sure. It's funny that people say I'm really great at launches. My launch strategy is like the chillest ever. So it's not much of a strategy. I would say I would look at your nurture sequence for those people coming in from the bundle. And if you don't have a nurture sequence set up, and if they're just coming straight into like your weekly or biweekly newsletter, you need to have something set up to be like, hey, welcome. This is what you can expect from me. This is my expertise.
I do have that. Yeah.
Okay. And you're still getting the unsubscribes.
Yeah, because they don't know me. I mean,
Yes.
Usually what I do, I don't pitch anything until they've gone through a nurture sequence,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
these people have come in kind of sideways
From someone
so
else.
they don't-
Someone else,
they don't know
basically.
me.
It's like they signed up for my course and now they're on your email list. That's
Yeah,
how-
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
precisely. Yeah.
I'll
so
share.
I just wondered, I don't know.
Yeah, well, so run me through. What do you do, John?
I create online courses. So I just
Yeah.
launched one this week.
Yeah.
Art courses.
Okay.
Is what they
gotcha.
are.
Gotcha.
So.
And what do you like on social media? You got a Facebook group, an Instagram. I know your podcast. What have you got?
Yep.
All of the above?
I have. What's that?
Have you got a Facebook group?
No, not a Facebook. I've got a group over on Mighty Networks.
Okay.
So monthly sharpener is what it's called. Yeah.
Okay.
So I used to have some Facebook groups. I got rid of those, but yeah.
Okay, cool. So my strategy, most of my nurturing is done via my Facebook group. And I see like a clear difference, right? The people that are in my Facebook group and are on my email list are 100 times more engaged. because there's
Right.
only so engaged you can get on an email, right? And I'm
Right.
probably the prime example. I'll opt into any idiot's email list, but I'm unsubscribing as soon as I get that free thing. I just can't be bothered, you know? And
Right,
even if
right.
I really like them, I put them into a special folder. I'm like, oh, this is Billy Jean, you know, I'm definitely going to read all this guy's emails, but I
Right.
redirect his email into like another folder, and then I never
Right.
check that folder anyway, you know? So
Right,
it's
right.
like, and then maybe I'll check it one day and just when I'm in an unsubscribe mood, and then I'll just
Right.
unsubscribe from everyone in there, you know? But a Facebook group, I'm never leaving a Facebook group, you know, just on the odd chance that maybe something interesting might come up, or maybe I want to network with someone in there. So that's my personal strategy. What I do is like, okay, how can I get these people in my Facebook group? And then if they're seeing my posts in my Facebook group, they're part of the community, they're way more engaged on email, way less likely to subscribe. Or if they do unsubscribe, they're probably going to come back again because I'm going to throw another lead magnet in the Facebook group.
You
That's what
still
I
have that
do.
connection. Okay.
Yeah, I
Gotcha.
don't. Can you do that sort of thing in Mighty Networks, or because I don't use it, I'm not familiar with it.
So leading people over to I mean, so what I've got going on is people know about me because they're on my email list now.
Yeah.
So they signed up for the course, but they're on my email list.
Yeah.
So you're saying redirect them over to Mighty Networks.
100%. Yeah. And then
Okay.
and the other thing, so let me just get my head around this here. So it's a bundle with multiple different people's courses, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yep.
they could, let's say it's something like all 9 of us put a course together, and then we all sell it to our lists. And then if someone buys, they get access to all 9 courses, and we get access, all of us, like let's say if
That's
someone
exactly
buys the
right. Yeah.
ball, all of us get the email address. Is that right?
Yeah, except it's about 100 creators. So I'm just
Oh, shit.
a little
Okay.
P. Yeah, a little P, you know, in the great scheme of all these pebbles. So yeah.
Okay. In your course, do you mention, hey, join this group or follow me on social media?
Not in the course, because my strategy has been to build up this email list and then to nurture this group that I've been
So I would
nurturing
also,
for so long.
I'd also put it in the course, right? So what I would do,
Okay.
you've still got access. You can change your course now, right?
Yeah. I've got
I just throw a module in your very first module after your introduction. or whatever.
Makes sense.
You know, just a quick 5-minute video. Hey,
Right.
you know, I know you've, you know, I don't know, you might have, I don't know where you heard of me, this and that, but what I recommend doing is following on social. You got 2 options. Here's my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram here. I put all my art stuff on here.
It's perfect.
You know, and also I've got this group in Mighty Networks. Join this thing here. Because on a bundle like that, I'm just thinking selfishly myself, you know, I'd be
That's
like,
perfect.
all right, let me open up
Yeah.
John's thing. Let me watch the first couple modules. Oh yeah, I'll quickly join his social media, follow his on Instagram. If it's boring, not saying your course is boring, but whatever, I don't connect it, I signed up for someone else's or whatever. I don't
Right.
finish your course, I don't open your emails, but I'm still on social media. I'm following you on Instagram. Maybe I don't unsubscribe from your email, but I'm seeing your Instagram post. Oh, this guy's pretty cool. I like his stuff. Then when I get an email, oh, this is John. I follow him on Instagram. His stuff's all right. I'm actually going to read it.
That makes
sense?
so much sense. I don't know why I didn't think of that. That is so logical. Yeah.
That's sort of
Love
my
it.
thing. I'm like, there's only so tight I can get with someone on email. You know, it's how
Right.
can I get them to follow me on social as well? My strategy is Facebook group, because that's what I do. But really, it could be the same with YouTube, right, Brandy? You know, someone opts in your email list. You want them on your YouTube channel, so they're seeing you on YouTube. You know, like I follow a few big YouTubers. I'll open their email. You know, the Evan Carmichaels, the Charisma on Command. You know, I'll open their emails because I follow them on YouTube. I'm not in their Facebook group, so they have one or not. But does that sort of make sense, John?
Yeah, it's perfect. I'm going to do that. I'm probably going to do it today because that is easy. I'll just open up Loom and record it and put it out there.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
appreciate it.
Easy.
It's awesome.
All
Thank
right.
you.
I love that advice. And I think it's the same thing for anyone who is thinking about creating courses on Udemy. I know Udemy is not the preferred platform for creating courses, but it's the same kind of thing if you are going to do a course on a platform like that, to invite people over to get into your world if they're on Udemy or something like that.
That's my whole Udemy. I did one quick course on there, and I'm just like, all right, let me make sure one of the modules is join this Facebook group.
Yes.
The bonus thing is there, and that's just, I don't even check Udemy. You know, once a week I get someone join the group. They say they're from Udemy. I'm like, great, did its job.
Perfect.
Julia, question for Brandy.
Yes, your YouTube course that you put on Trello, how do you show it to your people?
I actually just take a screenshot of it. And then if you are good with Canva, you could make it really beautiful in Canva and put it up on your social media. Or you can just post it just as is, like the screenshot of the board, and put it on your social media. That's what I did.
And
I
then-
just took a screenshot of it.
And what did you say exactly to him? Just, hey, I'm thinking about making a course.
Yeah, I think I said something like, oh, I'm getting really excited. People have been asking me about what the heck YouTubers do or something like that, because it's a weird thing to do for a lot of people. And so I said, lots of people have been asking me about YouTube. So I'm creating a course, like, or if you're interested, let me know. Or if you have any questions, let me know. And it just kind of opened up a conversation and it kind of highlighted to me the people who were interested in getting onto YouTube that I could pitch my course to, because some of them were like, oh, I've actually been thinking about starting YouTube, but I didn't know where to start. And so I'm like, oh, you could take my course and I can help you with that. And that allowed me to pre-sell my course, to make sure to validate my offer, to make sure that there was a market for it before I actually went and created it. So I just kind of gauged the interest.
Okay, that's cool.
If you're thinking, like, if you're nervous about it and you think that nobody's going to, because some people are like, I don't want to put it up in case nobody responds. Instead of saying comment below, say DM me, and then nobody knows if people have commented or not. You know what I mean? Yeah. There you go.
I used to use, I'll tell you another sneaky one. You know, this is a double-edged sword, right? When I first started off and I didn't have a lot of followers, I was like, hey, just like this photo if you want more info, you know? So it's even less of a, because people will like it anyway, you know, even if they don't want to buy it, they'll like it just to help you out. It looks like more people are interested.
For sure. I love that.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, cool. Well, we will leave it at that for today, guys. We'll do the usual on the count of three. Actually, everyone unmute your mics, because we'll say thank you to Brandy, like in a thing together. We've got all Brandy's social links up on the chat. Make sure to follow her there. Brandy, you're welcome to take a screenshot of this if you want. You can post it on your socials and say, hey, I did a thing for these guys here. So count of three, everyone just yell out, thank you, Brandy. And it's going to be loud. It's going to be messy. She's probably not going to know who's who, but who cares? Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Thank you,
Brandy.
Brandy.
You guys are so sweet.
Awesome. All right. So next 4 or 5 weeks is going to be all Facebook groups. Let's have a bit of fun with it, bit of a challenge, bit of friendly competition. And I want everyone to grow their groups minimum 500 up to about 1,000 of targeted people in that sort of space there over the next month or so. So we'll have some new people joining that are doing just the challenge as well. All right. Let's have some fun. I'll see everyone next week.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.